Good morning, everybody. Happy, what day is it? Oh my God, it's Thursday. Yeah. I don't even know. I wanted to say Friday. I bet you wanted me to say Friday. Anyway, oh, I didn't take the card down from yesterday. That's unusual. That's okay. Trust is a good card to live up, right? So, I don't know if you guys notice, I got a new addition for my altar, my little dolphin. I've always loved dolphins. Dolphins and mermaids has been a thing for me forever. The very first swim team I was ever on as a child was the Enfield Dolphins. So, I don't know, maybe that's where it came from. But I don't remember when I started liking mermaids. Interesting. Maybe it was with The Little Mermaid, which I loved long before I had kids. So, I don't know. Anyway, I guess it doesn't matter. Either way, that's what it is. And we are going to get some current energies for today. Current energies for today, please. Current energies for today. Oh, King of Cups in reverse. And the Page of Wands in reverse. So back to the fire energy with the wands, but... all right, King of Cups and Page of Wands in reverse. So the King of Cups is the mature love energy, right? So I feel like this is... I don't know what that is yet. I gotta think about that. Let's talk about the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is a teenager, and Wands is that creation, that desire, that just jumping in head first before you think. And I feel like this is you taking a pause. And maybe that's what both of these are, just taking a pause and really thinking about what it is you're being presented with or what you want. Maybe even, I heard a video this morning that was talking about giving energy to your thoughts, right? So understanding that the more energy you give to the thought, the more likely the universe is to deliver that particular thing that you're thinking about. So, for example, when you're really, really afraid that something's going to happen and you give it a lot of energy, then you actually manifest it, right? So I think these cards are telling me that we're understanding that now. And when it comes to situations of love, when it comes to situations of that new opportunity, that new desire, new job, new thing, new passion, if you will, you're really taking the pause to go through and make sure that it's what you want and to refine it, right? To redefine it or to define it further and manifest it. I think this is you understanding manifestation to a better degree. And not acting on whatever it is until you've truly thought it through, which is a beautiful energy. It is very mature. And from there we get the Five of Wands. So this is jealousy. This is people being jealous of you, envious of you. I actually learned the difference between jealousy and envy yesterday in group. And I had used this word interchangeably for many years, and it's actually very different. Jealousy pertains to losing something, feeling like something's going to be taken away from you. Envy is wanting that which someone else has. So I might be showing my ignorance here. Maybe everybody knew that difference, but I didn't. I used them interchangeably, and I was actually quite surprised at myself for as much as I have concentrated on the meaning of words. For me not to have defined those two words separately, I found that interesting. At any rate, sitting back, taking the pause, and making sure that these opportunities and these love situations are exactly what you want, and not taking anything less, is going to get people to be jealous of you. And remember to not be jealous of someone else, because you don't know everything that goes with that thing that you might be jealous of, or envious of, I should say. Oh my gosh, see, I'm getting the words wrong again. I also feel like it's defensive. being defensive. When those people, whoever they are, be it you or the other person, present with envy, being defensive about it. So be cautious of that. You know, be gracious. Show grace when people are presenting you with their envy, I guess. How can their envy, what does that look like when someone else's envy? I mean, think about that. What does that look like? We got these beautiful pages in my therapy book that describe feelings and describe what the physical manifestation of that feeling is. You know, what behaviors you would present, what things you might do, and you can trace them back to emotions. And I was actually quite shocked at some of the definitions. And it was funny because the therapist at the end, after we went over all of these things, says, you know, do you have any questions? And I said, yeah, I have a question. Why don't they teach you this shit in grade school? You know, my God, why am I 51 years old before I learned this stuff? But anyway, I digress. Try to understand, I should say, what your behaviors and what others' behaviors are tracing back to with the emotion. Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it envy? Here, I believe it's envy. When you start to come into your higher self, guys, people are going to be envious and they're going to sabotage. And just be careful and be aware of that, okay? Yeah, see, 8 of Cups in reverse. So 8 of Cups, or 8 of Pentacles, rather, I'm sorry. This is a community of everyone doing their part. Everyone taking and doing what they're good at, right? Even the little frogs involved here, and the deer, and the what is that, an owl? Little bird, anyway. And there's a fox in there, little fairies, and the mermaids, and even people, right? Everyone doing their part. And I can't help thinking this looks like Jasmine, the princess here. It's so funny. But this is in the reverse, right? And this is that envy card. Look, they're fighting against being the community. There's going to be people that don't want this level of community. They don't want to do their part. They don't want to be a part of this new world that is being created by people, right? They just don't want to. And they're going to fight against it, and they're going to criticize it, and they're going to be envious of it. So take a pause and make sure that these are your people, that this is your tribe, okay? And it's funny I say tribe. I was having dinner with my friend last night from Canada, and she said that in Canada, they're very careful with Indigenous to not offend, right? And so the word tribe, every time I say it, because I say it a lot, she kind of like pauses for a minute and looks around like, oh my gosh, somebody might hear you. Because it's very offensive, I guess, in Canada to say the word tribe, because it would be calling the Indigenous people out, I guess, if you will. And I found that very interesting, like just that one word, right? And it's not how I mean it. I don't mean it in indigenous way. I mean it in a soul tribe way. But that it would be so, the culture would be such that the word tribe would be different there than it is here in America. And we're just right there, right, guys? I mean, just right there. And anyway, yeah, that was a weird sidetrack. But some people don't want to be a part of the tribe. They don't want to be a part of the community. They don't want to be a part of the 5D. You have to let them. Don't fight them and make them do it. And understand that they're going to probably fight against you for doing it, right? They're going to want you, because they are in the 3D and not in that 5D energy, they're going to want to drag you kicking and screaming back into the 3D because they're not awake yet. They don't understand. It's not a matter of wanting to control you necessarily. It could be even wanting to protect you, you know, with the defensive posture here. But they don't see things the way you do or we do or I do. And it could be fear of you getting hurt. They might want to protect you. They might be envious. They might be angry. They might be sad. Figure out their emotion. You know, there's a bunch of different emotions here. Figure out what the emotion is that's making them fight against it. One more card for the energies today, please. One more card. One more card. Thank you. And the Magician in reverse. So there's a level of manipulation with that. Be careful that you're not using, okay, so I talked with my friend Joni yesterday about how you have gifts, right? Everybody has gifts. And a lot of times when they're natural gifts, you don't realize that they are gifts, that not everybody can do the thing that you can do. Okay? There's people who can sense, I don't know, energy better than others. They can see micro expressions. They can know what you're thinking before you think it, just based on, and not in a magic way necessarily, but they can put things together very quickly. And maybe it's not something they were born with. Maybe it's something they had to develop to survive a rough childhood. And so they had to read energies. They had to understand if mom or dad was in the right mood or the wrong mood, as the case may be, and protect themselves. So these are gifts we develop over time, and usually as children, to survive. Well, we carry those gifts into our adulthood, and then they've become such a habit now, we don't realize that we're doing it. And we also don't realize that it's not something everybody does. So it works for them, right? It works. It kept them safe. And so their subconscious is like, well, let's just keep doing it. Well, it can be used to the point of manipulation. It can be used, what's that saying? Use your powers for good. Some people don't. Some people use those powers to get what they want, to manipulate the people around them. And when they get into this jealous, envy, negative, angry energy of wanting to sabotage, they can. And they know they can. And you might be the one that can. You might be the one that can say, manipulate or be manipulative with your gifts. So be cautious of that. Be aware of that. Make sure you're not doing that. Understand if someone else is doing that to you, and make concessions to protect yourself. We've got all of these energies in reverse. So as an overall message, what this is telling me, in addition to what we've already talked about, is when you do come across these negative energies, or you have negative energies from within you, negative emotions, is to keep your energy close. Don't share that. Don't project that onto others. Don't let others project that onto you. Keep your energy close today. Anyway, I was going to say this week, but today, maybe rein your energy in a bit and do some extra protection. We talked about the cold water after the shower, whatever. Be aware. Just be aware. Be here now. Be present. Understand when people are not maybe in the best mindset, and protect yourself from that. All right. Can I get some advice for today? Advice for today, please. Advice for today. Thank you. Magic. We got 2 magic cards in a row, guys. Serious manifestation energy today. Be really, really careful with your thoughts. I mentioned it earlier. I watched a video about what you ruminate on is what you will bring about. So do be careful. That looks like Merlin, doesn't it? Looks like Merlin to me. And then she looks like a fairy and a mermaid and a person. Like she's all 3. So maybe her mind, body, spirit, the higher self, lower self, and soul, or the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. But she's reaching for the magic that he seems to have in his hand. We pair that with the envy. I mean, be careful not to envy, because what are you creating with that envy? More things to be envious of, right? Whatever you think about is going to magically appear. So be very aware, be very careful with your thoughts today. We got double whammy, the magician into magic. So things are, my dogs are playing, but they're playing loudly. Stop. Just be really aware, be really careful, and understand your energy, rein it in, and use your powers for good, I guess is what I will say at the end of that. But let's get a chakra card. I like these little chakra cards. I'm starting to get used to them. I wasn't sure at first, but they're kind of growing on me. So let's see what we have here. It looks like amber. It is not amber. It is mookaite. Oh, that's funny. Shine, I think we got this card earlier this week. You are made up of stardust, so keep sparkling. Solar plexus chakra. So that's your identity and your self-confidence. So I have to tell you a story about stardust. There was a girl in therapy the day that we got this card. I think it was Tuesday. And she walked in with this purple can. It's like an energy drink. And I can't remember the first part of it. It had stardust in the flavor. It was something stardust. And that made me laugh. And then yesterday, my friend Joni and I went down to Old Town. And we were looking at crystals, because that's what we do, I guess. And we saw mookaite. And I said, oh, mookaite. It was just in one of my cards this week. And she said, oh, I've been looking for mookaite. And we look up, and sure enough, we're looking right at mookaite. So synchronicities everywhere, guys. Magic. Notice the magic when you see it, right? Acknowledge it. Be grateful for it. And the universe will give you more of it. So keep shining. Keep sparkling. Be who you are. Be in your truth. Stand in your truth. Know who you are. And share that with the world, because the world needs it. The world needs you. And we're doing our part to raise the vibration for the collective, for the entire planet. And we don't do that by, dragging people kicking and screaming. We do that just by shining. And being our magical selves. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna watch the video, and we will talk in a minute. Love and light. Hey guys, how's it going? So a couple interesting things today. So not so much about the stuff in the background or anything like that, but I did spend some time looking some things up, because I felt like there was some interesting references in there today that I wanted to clear up. So dolphins. First I looked at the spiritual meaning of dolphins, which I kind of already knew, but I wanted to make sure I was right. Usually dolphins mean playful, that childlike playful energy. If you think about a dolphin, it's very social, very highly intelligent animal. What I didn't know about dolphins is it can live in freshwater and saltwater. It adapts to the environment. Yeah, interesting. So adapt to your environment. I kind of talked about that a little bit today. The other thing it means spiritually is it helps with guidance. They bring messages, fun, playful, freedom, and teamwork. So they are a good omen, considered a good omen when sailors see them. They're just a good omen. So I looked up manifestation because I seem to say it a lot today, and I don't necessarily always say it. And I even kind of defined it for everybody without even realizing it when I said, think about how an emotion will manifest. So a lot of times in the spiritual community, we think manifestation as magic, as bringing it into fruition, if you will. I mean, it kind of is, right? It's bringing the idea into reality, but it's an event. So I looked at Webster's definition, an event, action, or object that clearly shows or embodies something in relation to theory or ideas. So break that down a little bit for yourself. Are you embodying or clearly showing what your ideas are? Are you taking those steps in the direction of the larger goal? So manifestation is not a magic thing. It's just a thing for you to be aware of, because your thoughts and your ideas and your theories, you need to embody them. You need to show them. You need to become them. That's manifestation. And then I use jealousy and envy, right? I described the differences between the two words. And it's that when I was describing the differences is when the dog started really kind of playing loudly in the background. And then if you notice, I did describe the difference. And then I continued to use the word jealous when I was saying, if someone else is jealous or if you're jealous. I don't think I did that. I mean, it was a mistake at the time. I meant envy, but I don't think it was a mistake in that. Pay attention to the jealousy too. People might be worried about losing you, in in times of change, when things change, you know, when they're different, like I'm moving right now, people can get jealous, not of you, but of losing you. Be careful with that. Understand what that looks like. And be careful that you're not showing and manifesting jealousy in the change as well. Okay. And then the other thing I thought was really neat, we got the Page of Wands, and I called it the teenager, but it's actually the infant. The knight would be the teenager. So I found that interesting because I was kind of made it older than it was. But pages, to me anyway, I call it the infant of the deck. So it's I don't think I got the energy wrong. It's still that rushing in without really thinking first, but it was more of a childlike quality than a teenager quality. So I wanted to clarify that. And if you think about what a page is, you know, and you know how I slice words, a page in a book. You know, have you ever heard that saying, I'll take a page out of your book? So I looked up, I really need to learn to shut my alarm off when I do these videos, but anyway, the alarm went off. Looked it up in the dictionary, a significant episode or period of time considered part of a larger history. Think about that. That period of time that you spend contemplating, creating, manifesting. Manifesting would be the full embodiment. There's the beginning part of that manifesting, and that is the desire, the passion, the creation, the idea, the theory, if you will. And pages, being that they are part of a book, the written word, you could consider those messages. So there's that. Then I looked up tribe, because we talked about tribe. Social division in traditional society linked by social, religious, or blood ties that have a common culture and dialect with a recognized leader. So I guess I kind of overlooked the leader part. When I think of tribe, I think of everybody on at the same level, but I guess every tribe, if you will, should probably have a leader. Anyway, I don't know why I felt the need to look that up, but I did. And then we talked about magic. We had 2 magic cards in a row. I looked up magic just to see what Webster's dictionary had to say about it. You realize what they said was influence. I found that interesting. How are you influencing people? How are they influencing you? Is it being done to the point of manipulation? So think about your influence today, guys. That kind of opened my eyes a little bit when I read that. Sorry. And then we talked about Mukite. So I looked at Mukite. It brings peace, makes you feel whole, helps with decision-making, accepting change, and emotional growth. So Mukite might be something that you want to carry with you. That was part of our chakra card with the solar plexus. And in your solar plexus is where you would accept change and where your emotional growth is, right? That gut feeling. And emotional growth could just mean learning about emotions, what they are. You know, I thought there was 5 emotions. Apparently there's like 500, but anyway, I digress. And then I looked up the number 51. Just cuts. Cuts my number. That's how old I am. Anyway, it means you're on the right path. It says to continue to follow your intuition and to remind you that you are creating your own reality and to be careful of your thoughts. So that's pretty loud today, guys. Pretty loud. We had 2 names. We had Jasmine and we had Joni, and then, or JJ maybe. I don't know. There's 2 J's there, right? But anyway, that's what I got from today. So I am actually running early. So I'm going to sit and have a cup of coffee and relax before I leave for my responsibilities for today. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I trust it is unfolding beautifully. Much love and light.